Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. Jeff did, and then when he got his sorted out, mine decided to stop working.
Is your camera working? Because I don't see you on my screen.
No, my camera ain't. I don't know. No. It was working. Then you got your stuff fixed, and it's like Keebler L flipped the switch on my end. I don't know. It's okay. All these guys know how ugly I am. So
Come on now. Get the camera working.
But I always know where my Skippy stash is.
Oh, so what's up, man?
Trimmy knows hers is a bitch to begin with.
Oh, so how's everybody doing tonight? What's up, Mr. Dennis Farley? How are you, buddy? Eric.
George Watts, Mike, Dave Schneider,
Gary Kirby.
Sheffield, Alabama.
What's up, guys?
What's up, my homie Mike?
Shit.
Mr. Deuces.
In here. Oh, so everybody having a good start to the week so far?
Sure.
I hear you.
Sure.
Oh, so I've been working on this L39 for my buddy this weekend. Eric, as you guys can see, just about got the entire paint scheme on it. And it's all about the graphics are going up next, man. We got a little bit of some striping to do, and then of course the graphics, which they'll be a little further back, but it's the dragon scheme, and this has no clear coat on it yet as well. This is just paint right out of the can. Once we get the decals on it, we'll go in here and clear coat it. But I'm really impressed by this paint again. But of course, it's Rust-Oleum 2 times. I'll show you. This is this is actually Rust-Oleum, but it's just metallic blue, as you can see there. Cap color, which is pretty dead on for the plain color I wanted. And then this is actually, tried a couple of different silvers, so just so you guys will know, I'm going to tell you guys this. This is the silver right here, which I guess they call a chrome. This is the silver that I went with on the plane, and as you can see, it looks really nice. But just so you know, this is a drop tank done with this color, okay? And so just to be safe, when I bought this color, I decided I'd go ahead and buy this color, which is they call it metallic, and this one they call it metallic. So I figured I'd cover both bases and be safe, because I wasn't sure which was going to look the best. So what I did was I painted one drop tank with this color, and I painted another drop tank with this color. I put them side by side, I let them dry, and I couldn't tell you which one was which. I knew which one was which, but I kept going back and forth thinking, if I didn't lay a cap beside them, because I took the caps off the can and I laid the caps beside each drop tank so I would not forget, you know what I mean? And again, I couldn't tell you 2 cents worth of difference. So, but I liked how quickly this one dried. This one dried super fast, and it just seemed to lay on better than this one. Don't know why. Don't know if the agent sent it or different or what, but they both say, of course, the same thing. This one actually shows candelabra sticks painted chrome color. This one shows a mailbox painted kind of like in a pewter color, but I'm telling you, they're pretty much identical out of the can. This one just goes on better and dries better. So if you need a silver on an airplane, go with that one. It does better, it dries better. It's lays on better than this one. Don't know why, but it does. So yeah, um, once I get the decals on this plane and clear coat, it's going to look really good. Let's see, Mickey, what do you say? If you undercoat the black, make the room really pop. Yeah, but the thing of it is, I really wanted a silver on this plane. I wanted it to be a really nice looking silver, which is what I got. So I went underneath this with white primer, which is a flat white primer. Again, the 2x Rust-Oleum, and it did a fantastic job. It made the blue really pop, and it made the silver pop well for what I was wanting it to do. And so yeah, I'm very pleased. I had to tape off every bit of this. This is all painted, guys. This is not decals. This is all painted. And I did use the talcum powder, as you can see, the powder trick that Brendan McCormick showed us. And I also used a very low tack purple tape right here from Lowe's. The powder trick works really good. I'm very impressed with it. I did not peel any paint. And another cool thing, guys, if any of you have not done, I'm just going to pass this along to you as well. If you like, say, a color out of a spray can, like you like the blue or you like the silver or white or whatever color you're going with, if you will get you a small clear jar, plastic jar, glass jar, it doesn't matter what it is, especially if you're going to be using an airbrush or you want to touch up an area and be more controlled with an airbrush than a spray paint can, because they can be kind of all over the place. Do what's called decanting. Get your spray paint can, and there's a couple ways to do it. You can go in there and you can don't shake the can first. Let it be sitting still for a good while. And go in here and get you a blade, a drill bit, whatever you want to get, and puncture a hole in the top of this can. And what it's going to do when you do that, it's going to let out all of the pressurized product in here that makes this spray can work. Because what you've got is, in each can, you've only got about this much paint, actually. The rest of it is all propellant. Then you've got a wand that goes down in here that sucks the paint up. And when you puncture this can, you release the propellants and then sit the can in not hot, but like lukewarm water up to, say, here, right below your puncture hole. And what that does is that helps to gas off the can and get rid of all the propellant in the can. And after you've done that and it's sat in the lukewarm water for about 10 minutes or so, take it out of the water, and then take you a knife or whatever and go ahead and cut the top of the can far enough to where you can bend the can to a little spout, and then begin to pour it into your jar, your mason jar, your glass jar, whatever you're going to put it in, and then set it aside. Now, once you set it aside, do not put the lid on it, because this stuff is still off-gassing, and it will continue to off-gas for about another 10-15 minutes. But you want to take you a stick, say something like this, or a tongue depressor, and get in the jar and just stir it and get rid of the bubbles. And what it's doing is it's bringing all that gas to the top. And after you stir it pretty good, let it sit, like I said, 10-15 minutes, and let it off gas. Once it off gases, then you can put the lid on it. And if you can get the marbles out of the can with the little place you cut here, dump those in your container too, because that way it'll help you mix it up the next time you go to shake it up good. Then you can take your paint, put it in an airbrush. You can use it with a paintbrush. You got several more ways that you can use it rather than just being a spray paint can. Now, another way is if you don't want to waste the whole can by pouring it in a jar or whatever, take your can and get you a drinking straw and make it, so long. You can actually get the kind that bends too if you want to, and get you some hot glue or whatever and glue it around the nozzle on your can right here, right around the hole, and then spray it into a jar or whatever the amount of paint you want. Now, keep in mind that when this comes out of the can through the straw, if you're holding the straw is going to get extremely cold. It'll freeze your fingers, because that propellant is like a refrigerant almost, kind of like nitrous oxide. When it comes out of this can, it gets really, really cold. And you'll notice in the jar that you're putting the paint into as well, the jar will start to frost up because the paint coming out is really cold. So again, you don't ever want to put a cap on it as soon as you get it out. You want to let it sit. But if you just need a small amount of this paint, put it in a jar, and then you can pour it in your airbrush or whatever and spray it more controlled with your airbrush versus this way. And you can do a lot better details with an airbrush, get into closer proximities. But that's just a way of decanting your spray paint. And if you guys haven't seen it, there's all kinds of videos on YouTube, but pretty much those are the two methods everybody uses. So, check that out. And yeah, JCB, you can use BBs. That works well. But typically, if you get the marble out of the can, if you're going to empty the whole can into a jar, the marbles will dump out and go into your container. So, if this can basically says it is a 11-ounce can, you may have, maybe 10 ounces of paint if you're lucky. So just make sure your container is big enough if you're going to pour the whole can into a container. But that's a good way to do it. And, like I said, it makes using your airbrush, especially your top-fed airbrush with your little cup on top, you can take your little jar and pour the amount of paint you want in there and spray with your airbrush and just be more controlled. You can also add a little paint thinner if you need to. If it comes out and it's too thick, add your little paint thinner to it, thin it down to the ratio you need, do your little test on some paper or cardboard, and then hit your airplane with it. Just a easy, quick thing, guys. So a lot of times guys say, well, I can find a paint color I like in a can, but I can't find it in a smaller amount. There you go. Take it out of the can. You don't have to keep it in this can to use it in your airbrush or with a paintbrush. You can use it with a paintbrush. You just got to remember, you got to clean your paintbrush with a paint, thinner or something, because it's going to gum up that brush if you don't, because it is not water-based. It's got to have a thinner or something to get it out of your brush. So yeah, man, deuces. We're just always trying, man. Everybody's always coming up with good tips and, trying to figure out better ways of, doing what we do. And as you guys can see here, this is, this is all, I haven't taken the tape off of this because this has got to be cleared as well. And I don't want to get clear coat all over the clear plastic on here. So I just left my tape on it. And as you can see, when I was airbrushing, or when I was painting this, I got a little overspray on the headrest, but I actually like it. I'm thinking it gives a different flair to it, so I may keep it, because I'm going to paint some of this in here as well, the same silver that's on the airplane, and dress this up a little bit around the edges and leave down in here the gray that it is. So I kind of like a little bit of the blue flare on here. So I don't know. I'm going to ask the owner about that. Eric, if he wants to keep it, we'll keep it. If he don't, I'll paint it all back gray. But I'll show you this too. In doing this, I was very careful, proud of this, very careful in the fact that I did not get any paint on the inside of that. That has all been taped off, so that all looks brand new. Again, I'm just funny like that. I don't like paint all over my mess if I don't have to. So I'm going to paint the wheels on here. The rims, going to paint those white. And then get decals on it and clear coat it, and it should be pretty much ready. So it won't be long for it to be time for a maiden on this plane. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's going to look great so far, and the owner has seen some pictures of it, so I've been keeping him and asking him questions. I just couldn't do this without asking questions. So it's got to have some red pinstripe going up this way, some red around the wings here, red on the tail, and then the dragon decals will go over that. So, and yeah, I think I'll show you real quick. You can't really, let's see. This is actually a guy right here. He's, that's a full, kind of probably a quarter scale, if you guys can see that. Looks really nice. And it's kind of what this one's going to represent. I'll also show you. That's the tail section of this airplane right there. If you can see that, it's going to look really, really nice. These are Cali graphics. She did a fantastic job on these. So yeah, so that's what we're working with, and that's what it'll look like when it's all said and done. So let me know what you think. I'll tell you somebody else doing a killer job on a plane too. You are still here, aren't you, Dustin?
Yeah. You all
Okay.
end up painting marbles and balls and stuff, so I'm just sitting here just taking it
well,
all in.
Just
I'm not a painter.
I hear you. Well, I tell you who's done a fantastic job on his jet too, man, and that's Victor Shemlis. Victor's T-45 with the Marine scheme on it is looking amazing. I love the blue. Thank you, George. So yeah, it's Victor's is looking great. I can't wait to see it fly again because Victor, you've done a great job. Your finish looks nice. And of course, you guys are seeing tape right here because there's no need to take this tape off the lights until I paint the clear on. Actually, the wings are not even screwed on. The elevator is not screwed on, and the rudder is not screwed in. I have no screws in anything. I've just got it kind of fitted, dry fitted together, because I don't know if I want to take it back apart before I do anything else, especially with decals. So it's just easier sometime to do it if you don't put it all together. So I've painted this piece by piece rather than putting it together. I did put the wing tanks on here, but they're not screwed on. They're just plugged in. And up here, I have not put any screws in anything yet. As I said, as a matter of fact, where is, here's my bag of, here's a bag of stuff. I haven't even opened any of that yet. I did put the tail section on. The tail section, I use my glue, so that's why that glue is still in here. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's really the only thing been glued so far is the tail section, where the EDF, the back end of the plane is. So, yeah, and I'm waiting on my graphics from Cali Graphics for the AL37 in this box right here. And Jeff NC84, man, you're going to love that one. When I get it finished, you're going to love that one. We need to get together and fly that one. Oh. So that's what I've been working on, man. I didn't even fly this weekend. I just didn't feel it. Worked on this because, you know, spray paint goes on so much better when you got no humidity, and it was a nice weekend for it, man. So I was out here, and everything dried nicely and quickly, and better than it does when it's humid. When it's humid, everything takes a lot longer to dry. So yeah. What's Mickey talking about? Take notes, sir. Your Bronco should really be a cow power Bronco. What was he talking about? Bronco. Not quite sure what Mickey's talking about there to David Snyder. Nah, Dustin's still here somewhere.
Is here.
Yeah, David, if you're talking about the big OV10, I like the camo on that one as well. Somebody crashed one right here in the past few days. John VHRC was talking about it. They said that it just went in hard, man, and one of those big OV10s. I'm not sure whose it was, but it went in. And David, I don't know if you saw that or not. John VHRC was telling somebody to really check something, one of the linkages, or add another linkage. I kind of read over it very quickly. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, he's going to be happy with it, I think. But yes, OV10, the big one, it went in, and I don't think there was anything really salvageable on it. But David, John was saying to check something, or add another linkage, or add another servo horn. I don't know. You might want to look into that, because according to what I was reading from John VHRC, that's the reason the plane went in, I believe. Maybe you put the post up and John commented on it. I don't know. I saw it earlier today. It was early this morning when I saw it, so I might not have been quite awake yet either. But so yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That did have to hurt Jared. That's a big airplane. A lot of money tied up in that, man. David said he already Loctited the arm on the servo. Which one was it, David? Do you remember? Yeah, Jared, I hated Bobby's crashing that Hellcat too, man. He blew the damn elevator right out the back of it. um, that was not good. I mean, that was kind of sad, man. But he was screaming with it when it blew out. I was just shocked. Jeff caught it all on video. Elevator failed. Check servo screws or add a second elevator servo. Okay, then there you go. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you putting that in there, buddy. I knew it was something failed, and that's what John was talking about, adding another servo and another linkage to it. You think on a plane that big, they would have done that from the factory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that plane's got an elevator. God knows the elevator on it. What? It's got to be
Huge.
2.5 feet. I mean, yeah, it's got to be massive, man. So did they only put one? I mean, just saying, did they only put one elevator servo in that big damn elevator? Yeah, Deuces. Jeremy, so he does everything nice, man. George Watt said Motion RC's crash contest is coming up. The 3-way midair was awesome in the video. Yeah. A lot of that stuff's never good when it happens, but after the fact, when you can get over it and go back and look at it, well, especially if you can catch it on video. David said when the servo puts out 500 ounces of torque, it doesn't need it. One elevator servo is all that comes with it. Daggone, man, that's an elevator that big. You'd think it would have to. What's up, Keith? How you doing, buddy?
I have faith.
Yeah, it's kind of. That's a big plane to have one elevator servo, man. Gosh knows. I mean, this plane right here's got two. You know, I mean, this jet, it's a little foamy. It's got two, so you would think that they'd put two on a big balsa bird like that, man. That's a massive airplane, bud. Does the foam one for Motion RC, doesn't it come with two on the elevator? Or does it? I can't remember. I've put one together for somebody, but I can't remember if it came with one or two.
I honestly don't remember.
Do what?
I can't recall.
No, I haven't seen Brian's. Well, I take that back, Jared. I saw it. What was it? When was it? Was it last Friday evening? He brought it out to the field, just kind of the wing and the fuselage to show me, because he was working on it. And we had a meeting at our field, and he brought it out for me to see it. I was very impressed by it. It was very nice. That's a Phoenix model 0. Very nice. Very impressed by how it was put together. He's doing a good job on it, man. And the motor he got for it looks nice. That badass motor you got, that's going to be a good one too, man. I can't wait to see that thing fly. But yeah, that's all I've seen, man. I've just seen a wing and the fuselage, and I was very impressed by it. I will say that. Yeah. I'd be putting. I think I'd want two on that elevator too, George. I mean, that's like I said, man. That's a big elevator. Victor's out shopping. I hear you, man. Wild Bill, this is a L39. It was the check scheme right out of the box from Motion RC, and a friend of mine sent it to me from Florida, and wanted me to paint the Flying Dragon scheme on it. Which he got the graphics from Cali Graphics, and he asked me if I would paint it and everything for him. So I've been in the process of doing that, and we're getting very close to being complete. I just got to get the graphics on it, some pinstriping, and then a clear coat, and do a little cockpit work, and paint the wheels, or the center of the wheels, white, rims I guess you'd call them, and she'll be ready to go. I can't wait to see him fly it, actually. He's got another plane he's going to be giving me to paint for him after this one, and it's the big carbon T-28. We're going to paint it in the Navy scheme, that silver, blue and white. It's kind of like this color blue and white. It's going to look really good as well. Can't wait to do that one. And this is the high performance model. It's got 130 amp ESC Outrunner, Inrunner, Outrunner. What's on it? Yeah, it's the standard. He's got the deluxe version, is what it is. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, he's good, Eric. Appreciate it, man. Question: if you had to choose one between the FMS Tiger Cat and the E-Flight Viper 90, which plane do you choose and why? Well, my opinion, first of all, I have the Flightline Flightline Tiger Cat F7F. I love it. It's one of my favorite go-to airplanes. The difference in the Flightline and the FMS, one is 1600 millimeter, the other one is 1700. The FMS also has comes with aluminum gear, which I had to upgrade mine. The Flightline also, with the Flightline, you have 2 packs. I use two 4000 4S, and with the FMS you use 1 pack 6S. As far as looks, I like the flat scheme on the Tiger Cat from Flightline. The FMS comes with a shinier finish. I like the gear on the FMS better. I like the 1 battery better. All the rivets, I can take it or leave it on the FMS versus the Flightline. Either way, man, you will never go wrong with either plane. They're phenomenal flying airplanes, both of them. As far as the 90 millimeter Viper, well, 90 millimeter Viper is from what I understand, a phenomenal flying jet. It's a very forgiving, great flying jet. It's a jet, though. It's a difference. The Tiger Cat is a kitten. It flies excellent slow. It flies excellent full throttle. Very stable in there. I run a gyro in mine, so I can fly it on windy days because it flies so well. As I said, it's one of my go-to airplanes, even in wind. It flies incredibly well because of the wing size, the wing loading, everything. The E-Flight Viper is a jet. Again, I say, a jet. It's going to fly totally different, but it's going to fly great because of what it is, the size it is, and the characteristics of that particular jet. Several of the guys in here have it. They can tell you that. You can see several of their videos. Pilot Ryan's done a great video on it. Jeff in Lower Alabama, I think, has done a great video on it. I think I just got here. Gary, didn't he do a video, even though he crashed it because he got too slow with it? Again, it's got great slow flight, but you can't creep it to a certain degree, especially without a wind, I guess, a headwind. So you're talking really 2 different planes. So I think as far as flyability, either one of them is going to fly incredibly well. And if you want a jet that you can enjoy, I think it would be a good one. If you haven't tried the 70 millimeter Viper, you might want to try it first. The 90 is going to be even better. It's bigger, probably easier to fly because it is bigger. Bigger does fly better. So just my 2 cents. And if any of you guys in here want to chime in at any time, I think you'll all agree one's an airplane, a prop plane, and one's a jet. So they are going to be different, but both are going to fly great, I think. So, and, Dustin, you can chime in anytime if you're awake, man. I mean,
I'm here, man. I'm just reading everybody's comments.
Okay. Um, yeah, everybody that I've seen with the 90 millimeter Viper, man, they've all give it, I mean, like 9 to 10 stars across the board. Um, Great slow flight, great flight characteristics, great speed, great performability, maneuverability, um, landing on grass. Grass is great. Bobby did a video with RC Reviewer. He did a great video on that particular jet on grass, as a matter of fact. He says he likes it almost as good as the Stinger 90, if not better. I've got the Stinger 90. I love it. So if it flies that good, it's a great jet. I mean, um, it's got all mechanical hinges, which is another good thing that the 70 millimeter did not have. It also has all aluminum trailing link gear. The 70 has a fixed piano wire type of gear. But both are going to be nice. I hear you there, Mickey. Yes, sir, man. That's why I say I love painting them almost as good as I do flying them, man. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I love doing this kind of stuff. Um, and like I said, once I get on one, I can't. It's like I don't like to stop. I like to get it done, you know. Thanks. Sounds like prop planes fly better than jets. Sounds like you were saying that FMS Tigercat is a better flyer overall. I'm not going to say it's a better flyer because I think they're both going to fly almost identical. But it depends on what you want to spend. The FMS is going to cost, what, $100, $150 more, I think, or maybe $200 more. I haven't priced it lately. Everything's gone up. The gear on it are phenomenal. Take nothing from the aluminum gear on the FMS. You get another 1700 versus a 1600. You got one battery versus two. Flight characteristics wise, I think they're going to both fly incredibly well. I know my flight line flies like a dream, even in crosswinds with a gyro in it. So I would say go with either one. It depends on what your wallet allows. You can also upgrade the gear on the flight line to aluminum trailing links. They're not as nice as the FMS by any means, or as scale looking, but once your gear go up and you're flying it, man, you're not going to see them. So they're both going to fly, I think, exceptionally well if you put them side by side, and I think anybody would tell you that. I know Rich Baker loves flying them. I think he started out with the flight line. I think he might have eventually gotten the FMS. But everybody that's flown either one of them has nothing but great things to say about it. Low payment 245 VIX. Yeah, Mickey, that's a nice looking scheme, man, on that T45. I love it myself, man. You're going to do yours in a turbine, though, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, Mickey, looks like you got some good friends around you, man, to work with you anyway. Putting out some good stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. That he is.
What else we got in here? So, a lot of surface stuff coming out. You play with your vehicle anymore, Dustin?
Nope. I keep telling myself I'm gonna get home and charge the battery or so, but then something else always happens.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah, the last couple of weekends we've had some good weather. I mean, it's been nice and cool. No humidity past couple of weekends. Been pretty nice. Yeah, Jared, this is a great flying jet. Dustin's got one. He's got the one I'd like to have.
Oh, my L39.
Yeah, another guy at our field's got one like Dustin has. And yeah, everybody that flies this L39, man, just gives it thumbs up across the board. Flight characteristics, flight time, flyability. It definitely comes right up in there, man, with anything out there. I think the T33 is another one that flies really well from everybody I've seen fly it. A guy at our field, Brian, he also has the T-33, and he says it flies extremely well also. But yeah, I think the T-33 and the L-39 are both very comparable in flying ability and how they fly. Yeah, they all. Look, we all need good gear on our planes, man. Some days you have good landing, some days you don't. Biggest thing with any of these planes, I would say to anybody, is and sometimes you don't find out until after the fact. That's check your glue in your gear pockets, man, because sometimes they don't put a lot of glue in there, and you can do the nicest landing and your gear will pull out, and that, of course, in turn causes damage to your wing or damage to your flap or damage to your airplane, period. So from time to time, especially if it's hot outside, grab your gear and just kind of give it a little bit of a tug and see if there's any loose play or whatever in there, because that can be the Achilles on a lot of these planes, man, is the amount of glue or lack thereof in the landing gear on these airplanes, especially the mains. Not so much the nose gear as it is the main gear. And it's down in the pocket. So, definitely check that out. Yeah, Deuces, exactly. But when you go out slow, speaking from the person's. Yeah, exactly. And I've got to get my F-14 made. And just the wind and everything ain't been my friend every time I go out there. What's say, Mason? How you doing, buddy? Tim, good to have you, man. Mike SSI, Roach Coach. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Mickey, that's the thing. One loose main gear can tear up a lot of crap, man. It'll tear up your flap. It'll booger up your wing, ding up your wing. And if it does pull out, it seems like when it always pulls out, it snaps the wire into the servo, not pulls it out of the receiver or the Y cable or whatever. It seems like it pulls it out of the damn servo, so you can't even really use it. It's hard to go in there and solder something that small. So normally you got to replace it, and then you got to fix all the dings and dents in your wing. What's up, Lewis? How you doing, buddy? Good to have you here tonight, man. Give that man a wrench. Lewis is the guy, a friend of ours, guys, that he's worked on our website for the North Carolina Space Cowboys, which is ncspacecowboys.org. He's done a great job working on that. Gives you some information about our flying field, what we do, what we expect, what we fly, all the guys that are members out there, and it's a work in progress. He's done a great job so far getting this thing up and going for us. So if you get a chance, definitely go check that out, ncspacecowboys.org, and let us know you checked it out. And we are having our fly-in October the 23rd, weather permitting. Should be a good time. Hope to have a good turnout. I know Jeff and Bobby are coming. Dustin hopefully will be here. So yeah, hopefully everything will be good. What's up, D-Man? How you doing? So yeah, and also guys, the Kinston Air Modelers are having a fly-in, what is it, September the 25th, which should be good. That's going to be the big Warbird Classic. And that'll be a lot of balsa airplanes, big planes. Should be a good time. You'll get to see a lot of composite planes, stick-built planes. So hopefully, like I said, they'll have good weather. They've had 2 fly-ins this year already. So I'm going to try to get to that one and get with those guys and see what they got out there. There's one man that comes out there, Dustin. He's bringing in airplanes that are, incredible stick-built composite planes, man, that are massive. So definitely, if you ain't doing anything that weekend, man, you ought to swing by and check it out.
Oh yeah, I plan on it. Just never know
Yeah.
what the family happens
Like
with
I said,
them.
that'll be coming up, what, next couple of weekends? That's 25th. And ours is 23rd. They're having a fly-in in Newport, which is around the beach. I think this weekend is the 18th. So, yeah, that'll be coming up this weekend. So the weather's right. A lot of good things coming. This time of year, fly-ins are popping up everywhere, and a lot of good things going on. So now we just got to get everybody and hope the weather cooperates. I hate it for all those people down in Texas, man. Second hurricane coming in there, and just what they didn't need, when they just had one 2 weeks ago. So hopefully they'll be okay and get things straightened out. Trying to catch up on the comments here. Lionel Randall, what's up, Lionel? What's up? Tim, T-Cat. So what is everybody else flying? Anything other? I mean, what's anything coming in these days? Anything on? I know a lot of guys have ordered stuff. A lot of stuff's been coming in on containers and things like that. What about any of you guys? You got anything? I know some guys have ordered the 90 millimeter Viper. I guess the 80 millimeter F-16 has probably gotten here. What was it? The Cessna, 2.1 meter Cessna. I don't know if it's a pre-order or if it's coming in yet or not.
Oh, you're talking about the Cessna upgrade where they changed it to like a tail dragger.
Yes. Well, right now, Mickey, I've got AL-37, man. I've had it in the box. There's only one left in the box, okay? So I'm waiting on my decals from Cali Graphics for it, and once it gets here, that'll be the next project. I got to do some painting on it before I can get the decals put on it, and once that's done, then that'll be the next project on the table. And weather's getting cool, and so I want to get it up and flying. Also, I've got to get my big P-47 up here, my gas airplane. I want to get it flown. We've got a guy that's just joined our field, and he's a gas man. I mean, that's what he does. He knows the stuff when it comes to these gas planes. So hopefully I can get with him and talk with George Watts. I've talked with him a little bit, but I hadn't wanted to bother him until I was ready. So, George said he would talk to me some. But, yeah, I want to get this P-47 up and flying because it should be a good one. See you, Eric. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it, buddy. So, yeah, that's really what I got going on, man. I mean, and, nobody's really got anything in stock. You go to order anything, and it's either back ordered or out of stock or pre-order or whatever,
Mm-hmm. It's been like that for a while. That's like when I got my truck body. I contemplated getting two because of that.
Yeah, that's what I say. Typically, you buy those trucks. If you drive them enough, you're gonna bust a body or scratch them or ding them up or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, until somebody shoots down somebody's pizza, then you got a problem. Or a drone flies into somebody's car carrying a delivery, then you got another problem. As long as it ain't my pizza. Yeah, Ernie is in our field. He like I said, he does the gas engines and stuff. He does a phenomenal job with it. So, like I said, want to get with him and look at some stuff and get him to just let me know. This plane runs great, but it's gas and it's the first one I've ever had, so I just want to make sure it's sounds good to a man that knows what it's supposed to sound like before I go taking it up in the air, you know? Yeah, and Lewis just dropped his email in here. If anybody's got any build tips or anything they'd like to put in, you can put them up on our website and feature them on the website as well for North Carolina Space Cowboy. That would be awesome. Because he does have a place on the website where you can go and it just gives building tips, charging tips. Also, the Ernie that flies with the gas, he's big into stick building, so that's kind of a dying art, man. I'd really like to see some of that done because eventually, people are getting away from it to a degree, and it's like if you don't learn how to do it, eventually we'll have nobody to show you. So I think it's pretty cool that he does a lot of planes that way, and he laminates himself, uses fiberglass resins. But it's really cool. I'd like to watch him do some of that. He's not big into social media and stuff though. He doesn't really mess with that kind of stuff. I wanted to find out, did you see Ramey RC, the way he wrapped that last airplane he had with vinyl? Dustin. See, I knew he won't air. I knew it. But no, did any of you guys see that? Ramey, he wrapped the Citation that he just built with vinyl. And I'd like to figure out what that vinyl is because I'd like to see how it would do on a foamy, because I think it would be great rather than painting. That vinyl would probably go on really well, and you can stretch it really well around your corners, almost like monocoat or ultra coat. And I would like to see that done. See, I knew you had left.
Yeah, had to go urinate.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I was asking if you saw Ramey RC do that vinyl wrap on that carbon Citation that he just built. Ew. Dustin.
What's that? You're going in and out.
Huh?
You said you're going in and out. Your audio for me.
I said, did you see Ramey RC wrap that Citation he just built in the vinyl that he put on it?
I saw part of that build, but I did not see that particular episode, no.
Okay. Well, again, Mickey, T-Cat, let's see, what do you say? It's just CAD vinyl wrap, some heat transfer to make adhesive backing and back to the vinyl requires no heat necessary, just pressure. Yeah, I mean, he uses a little bit of heat to get it to stretch around corners and stuff, and it really molds to things when he uses the heat on it, which I'm sure is low heat. But I just think it's really cool, and being that you can use low heat with it to get it to mold, I wonder how it would do on a foamy rather than painting. If we could wrap one of these planes with that vinyl, I wonder how it would do, because I think weight, the vinyl probably shouldn't weigh any more than a couple of coats of paint. And so I'd like to try it, man. I just think it would be really cool to see, and I think it'd be easier to do than painting. So yeah, I've actually talked to a friend of mine about doing it, because I'd really love to try it and see how it would do. Has anybody else in here done it or tried it?
I've used wrap before, and yeah, you have to use low heat so you can bend it around curves and stuff. I mean, think of it like as that monocoat.
Well, I mean, he laid it right on that carbon fuselage, and it had some adhesion. You could tell that, but he used a squeegee, so it had some adhesion. And he didn't put water under it first. He just laid it up there. but then anywhere he needed to be tighter or around the curve, he just kind of pulled it and put a little heat. And you could see it mold around. So yeah, I just think I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, truth still matters. You're gonna love that FMS regardless, man. It's a great airplane, and either one, I think you'll love it, and you'll love flying it. And if you put a gyro in it, wind will not be a big problem for you. You can fly it on windy days or whatever. You'll see what I'm talking about. Mickey says, I think it'd be possible. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just it, Mickey. I don't think it takes a lot of heat from what I'm seeing. And you can use some heat on this stuff if you're careful and hold it back far enough and don't keep it in one spot too long. A lot of times when I airbrush with water-based acrylics, I use a hair dryer that gets pretty hot, and because I have those, but it dries your paint so much quicker, especially a water-based paint, especially if you're spraying with Windex, because it makes that paint dry just like that. But if I just think, yeah, I think it could be done too, man, and I swear I'd love to try it. I've got a friend right now, he's got a T-34, and the old monocoat is starting to come off of it, so we're going to try to rewrap it. We're going to use
that'd be a good video.
Yeah, we're going to use Ultra Coat. I'm going to do that, but the thing is try to find Ultra Coat right now, man. It's hard to find it only at a select few places. It's not easy. Most people are out of stock on it or back ordered, you know. So yeah, it's kind of tough finding Ultra Coat right now. But I definitely want to wrap that plane for him because it's a pretty airplane, and it's the red and white Navy scheme, and it flies incredibly well. Yeah, composite turbines are more of a hybrid build. Assembly, some of them require a lot of build, some of them more short. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Jackson? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'd love to do a stick build at some point in time. I don't know. The thing with a stick build, you've got to have a lot of space. It's got to be able to lay out. You got to be able to kind of leave it alone. So you got to, if you're going to put it in that space, you kind of got to leave it in that space. You can't be needing that space at a later time until that plane is done. But yeah, I think it would be cool myself to do some stuff. Now, the guy at our field, he's got a lot of plans for just about any kind of airplane you could want. He just gets them. So, you know. Yeah, Mickey, that's what I did with this plane right here before I did any paint on it, because typically if you do a couple coats of polyacrylic, you won't gator your foam with the propellants coming out of these cans right here. So, yeah, I did do a couple coats, but even still, you can still see some flaws in the foam because it's just foam, man. And I mean, it's almost like the shinier paint you put on anything, the more flaws you show. The flatter the paint, the less flaws you show. Hence the reason a lot of people paint walls and ceilings in a house with flat paint and not gloss paint, because if you do, you're going to see every flaw in your walls and your ceiling. So, you know, so yeah, it's flat is always going to be better to not show as many things. Hey Raymond, I'm gonna tell you, man, I love my twin. It flies great, sitting right over there. You know, some guy was asking me on one of my videos. He commented, and he was saying something kind of negative about the hex on the prop, on the shaft, kind of knocking it. I don't know, man. My props went right on. They were snug. You want them snug, and then when you put the prop spinner adapter, the cone, and screw it on tight, it kind of pushes that prop onto that hex. So I didn't have any problems. I mean, and he was kind of complaining about that of it, and he didn't like that, and he said that's not typically how it would be, and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, what do you want, man? I mean, change it. I mean, I guess if you don't like the hex, the back of the prop has got a hex on it as well. And then the hex on the shaft, everything locks in and fits together like this. So, I mean, what do you want? And then your spinner goes on and tightens up everything, and your back plate all pulls together. So, I don't know, man. I guess you just can't please everybody, right? It is what it is. Nick, you crazy, man.
Right. He's always the wild card in the bunch.
I'm telling you, right? So yeah, it's just like with that airplane. You're gonna have people. It's Hobby King, so you're gonna have some people that just have negative right out of the box, so to speak. Other people are gonna. I love it. John VHRC flies it. He loves it. The Petrinkic brothers, they flew it. They loved it. What is it? Essential RC loves it. I don't know, man. I think it's a great flying airplane. It presents well. It flies well. Characteristics are great on it. I don't really have any problems with it. So I don't know. For the money, you're talking $399 for a 1700 millimeter airplane with retracts, lights, twin engine, clear canopy, great foam quality. I'm telling you, the foam quality is that of E-flite and above. I mean, the foam quality is stellar. It's beautiful. So, I mean, what do you want,
What do you want, Jeff?
Well, we all don't want no problems, man. We all want a plane that never has problems, that we never crash, and if you do, you blame it on the electronics, I guess. That's how it works, right? It's the electronics, I swear. But no, I mean, we all want great value. We want a nice size airplane, good quality airplane, good quality equipment in it, and we want it to fly great. That's what we all want, I think. And I think this plane I definitely think it fits the bill on all of those requests, man. I mean, for the size of it and the price of it. Like I said, if you look at the FMS F7F Tiger Cat, what's the price on it right now? Do you have a clue, Dustin? Can you look that up while you're not doing anything?
The price of what now?
I said, look up the F7F Tiger Cat by FMS. What is it going for now? $600? And it's 1700 millimeter, twin engine.
$589.
Okay, $600. Right. Okay, you getting this plane here for $399. I mean, what a bargain. I mean, and the foam quality, like I said, the foam quality is amazing. Yes, you could upgrade the gear in it if you wanted trailing links and things like that, a little more scale gear, because it does have fixed scale looking gear like the Carbon T28, almost identical to the Carbon T28 as far as how it's made. You got piano wires covered in plastic that look real, but they're not, and they're non-functioning. So this plane is the same way. I mean, other than that, $399, man. I mean, you're getting a great airplane compared to $600. I mean, they sold out of it pretty damn quickly at Hobby King. I know that. Which, again, some people say, "Oh, they sell out everything." Well, but isn't that what every company wants? I mean, nobody wants to have stuff sitting around and not selling. Yeah, parts can be hard to get from time to time, but I think they're coming on a boat as well as fast as they can get them here.
Well, it ain't about how fast they can get them here. It's all about how fast they can get them off the boat. That's the true hang up. It's not the ships getting here. It's
yeah. Yeah, well, Mickey, I mean, that's just it, man. It's a great, super nice platform. I mean, you can paint different liveries on it, different colors. There's another guy, RC Jet Jock. He's doing a livery on it because he used to fly one, and it's turning out beautiful, and he's getting ready to talk about how he did all that as well. but he's flown it and loves it. Like I said, John BHRC, he just put out a beautiful video, a week or so ago, flying it like late afternoon, sun was going down.
Mm-hmm.
He blew the mud out of it, man, and he gave it nothing but cool marks all the way across. So, it's what it is. I think it's really nice. So,
You really nice, Jeffy.
hey, man, I try. Some things, it is what it is. But anyway, man, well, look, you ready to get out of here and let these guys have at it?
Yeah, man. You done great being by yourself tonight. I'm proud of you. You the man.
Hey, man. I got to do what I got to do, man.
Right.
All right, man. Well, look, you guys stay safe as always. Have a great week. Enjoy the upcoming week. Tomorrow night, please check out Mr. GB Lennon's show. I'm not sure if Shay's coming on anymore. I'm not sure. But I know GB comes on at 9:30, I think, Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Kenny's always Thursday nights, along with Bobby on RC Plane Reviewer at 9:30. Kenny comes on at 9, Bobby comes on at 9:30. I try to show both of them love, man. They're both great guys, great shows. And then on Friday nights, I'm not sure if Dave's RC is back up and running yet. I know he's been taking a little hiatus because Kenny had been coming on. And then,
yeah,
of course,
do you know anything that's going on with that by chance?
I do not. Have no clue.
Why not?
I just don't know.
Oh.
Hadn't heard from anybody, man. So, and then Friday nights. Who's Friday night? Dustin?
What do you mean? Who's Friday night? It was Dave.
Well, that's one. Yeah. Okay. So Dave, and then Saturday nights Pilot Ryan.
Yeah.
And then Barry Boozer, they're not doing anything on Sunday nights anymore. And then Dave Marshall took off last night because they were at a fly-in all weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a good time. They put out some great video on that too, man. Really good video. I enjoyed watching a lot of that. Horizon Hobby was there as well. So that was pretty cool weekend, it looked like. So yeah, I'm sure those guys were tired. So, but anyway, I appreciate all you guys coming out and supporting tonight. And check out all your friends' channels, watch their videos, comment, like, subscribe, share to everybody. And if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down twice. And you can reach out to Dustin and leave your comments.
Yes, I will take them
yeah.
very seriously to the right people. I promise.
Take good care of him. He'll take you right to the top. So, all right, man. Well, look, let's let him go. Thank you, EQ, and have a good night, man. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Look forward to it. Be safe.
See you guys. Have a good one. Thank you again.
Later.
Okay, you're off.